Good morning. Today is the 1st of November and the noise of boat construction in the background means we are back at Barron's Classic Car Auctions here at Marchwood near Southampton. I do apologise for the noise in the background, there's not much I can do about that. I also apologise in advance if I get things wrong, if I fall over, if I get interrupted by things. It's just the way that it goes on this channel. So we'll have a look around this November sale, and the first car we're going to look at is this 2007 BMW 320 SE convertible. Apparently it has a beige Dakota leather interior, which would be a very good start if it does. And why yes viewers, a beige leather interior with wood. And it's a 6-speed manual. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. Not the most keen on this generation of 3 Series. My mother actually owned 2 of these, but we can't talk about those on this channel, viewers, because there's something we don't discuss, and a lot of you know what that is. But this one looks quite nice. Apparently this is called Barbara Red. It's only got 2 hours from new. The estimate on this is only £3,000 to £5,000. I think we've seen this before, as far as I know. The mileage is 63,000. Most interesting. That lot number, by the way, on the front is wrong. It is lot number 103. Something a fair bit older, but also cheaper. Lot number 104 in 1988 Jaguar XJ12 HE. So this will be the V12 automatic. The margin of this is quite high. It's 150,000, and it's not in the best condition. We'll see if this is open. It might not be. Oh, it is. There we go. Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. Needs some work, I think, is the operative phrase with this, viewers. It does say that. The estimate on this is only £2,000 to £3,000. Apparently it actually does have a current MOT as well, which is good, but that's going to need a fair bit of work to put it back to its former glory. So somebody braver than me, have a go. So we've skipped a lot there, viewers, because of, well, the rules we have on this channel. But we'll go on to this Triumph Spitfire Mark IV. £2,500 to £3,500. Now, it's not the best example of a Spitfire I've ever seen, but I think the price does reflect that. This will have the 1.3 engine, the old standard SC. We can see, for example, here, that this is going to need some attention, isn't it? Obviously, it's a Spitfire, so the whole front end lifts up, so that is also the bonnet and everything. It looks okay. It's maybe like an older restoration or something. The owners have this a long time, since the year 2000 apparently. It's superficially, it doesn't look too bad. Never driven one of these before. Driven a Herald convertible, but not one of these, which I would like to rectify at some point. But yeah, it looks interesting. Obviously a nice little winter project, I think, something like this. Part development of these I think is very good as well. Talking of winter projects, here is a 1958 Morris Minor 1000. Now this car, weirdly, has a 1964 registration, but it is a 58. You can kind of tell, like, straight away. Such things like these little wipers here. So yeah, apparently this has been laid up for an extremely long time. A really long time. There's the old steering wheel as well. Look at the older rear lights on this. Estimate on this is it's only apparently about £1,500 to £3,000. I don't think that plate comes with the car. I think there's another one actually, so that might have been taken up at some point. Traffic gates have been sort of sealed up at some point. Yeah, I suppose it's a starting point to do whatever you want. Engine actually looks quite good. I don't know if it is in the best of health or anything. So yeah, it's not been started for quite some time. It looks pretty good. I mean, it needs painting and things. It needs to be sort of put back together properly. But there we go. That's just a Morris Minor. Almost the same money as the Minor, as this 2003 R50 Mini Cooper, £2,000 to £3,000. 47,000 miles, half leather interior, panoramic roof. Very typical colour of the early 2000s, this yellow. It does look very clean in here, I must say. These do have much more following than they used to, these R50 minis. There's quite a few still around, actually. I drove one many years ago. It belonged to Mr. Richardson from the Furious Driving Channel, who still has it. It's a very early wide registration one. This is a little bit later than that. Yeah, I mean, it's not really my kind of thing, but they do have quite a following now. Oh, an old friend of 1935 Standard 12. This is now estimated at £5,000 to £6,000. It's going to need some recommissioning, apparently. I love the kind of time warp condition of this car, and just all these little details like these trafficators and things should have moved like that. It's the smell of this, and you know, the sort of way it's made and the sunshine roof and everything. It's not, again, really me, this kind of thing. I'm not that fond of the old pre-war things because they're just very difficult to drive in comparison with more modern cars, and I'm not really willing to try so much. Some people, like Mr. Richardson from Furious Driving, actually love stuff like this, but I'm you know, not that kind of person. But I just hope somebody is, because I don't like this thought of this car languishing at the auction house forever. I had to skip lot 111 because it's not actually here yet. We'll go on to 112, which is this 1992 Saab 900 16 valve turbo convertible. Again, I don't know what this is still doing here. Estimate is 5,000 to 6,000. So the standard, actually. I think I prefer this, to be honest. It's not quite the specification that I would have. I'd have a, you know, lighter colour interior, but this is a classic look for the Saabs, and actually this is the Turbo S 16 model. It is quite a desirable spec. I don't know exactly what this is worth. I'm not quite sure. I'd like to think that somebody wants to buy a car like this. It's not perfect or anything, but I do think it looks good. It's certainly faster than the 83 900 GL Saloon that I drove early last year. 1985 W123 Mercedes 230e automatic, estimate £4,000 to £5,000. I mean, this looks quite nice, isn't it? I'm not an expert in one of these. Obviously, there are a couple of famous ones of these on YouTube. One belonging to Mr. Miller from the Classics World channel. This one does look particularly nice. That is lovely, actually. I've always thought that these are slightly sort of undervalued, these cars, but you can buy them, you know, for not that much money. This is sensible second-hand classics money for sure, this car. And even just hearing that door close, it just was an era when Mercedes were just known for exceptionally good quality cars. It looks really nice with those fog lights as well. It's a very late W123. The 124 came out the same year. Again, another car that's been here a little while, this 1959 Jaguar Mark II 3.8. It is it's an early Mark II, this one. So I was when you know, these were probably overpriced a bit. They're more realistically priced now, these, and this one looks very good, actually. We'll have a look at it. We've looked at it a few times before, but you know, no harm in having another look, I suppose. Look at that little brake fluid and handbrake warning light. Loads of switches in the middle, huge slip of wood on the dash, green leather interior, separate overdrive control. I mean, it's not really me. I prefer, if it's a Jaguar or something a lot more modern than this is what I prefer. But there we go. Just if you do buy this, don't go near any cliffs. That's my advice for you. Those of you who get that reference, I applaud you. In the corner here, this 1955 Land Rover Series 1. Again, I'm not quite sure what this is doing here. They're not really me, these cars. I've driven a Series 3 lightweight, and that was difficult enough. This is, you know, probably a whole factor of difficult to drive more. But there we go. Yeah, I something this sort of old, and actually it's not in bad condition. It's not perfect or anything, but it's not bad. I'm surprised that this is only estimated at about £10,000 to £12,000, and they've reduced the reserve on this recently as well. So there we go. Back in 2022, for the Christmas special on the channel, I filmed a 996 generation 911, like this one. That was only a sort of a Carrera to Tiptronic. It wasn't anything particularly special. This is actually a little bit more interesting. That's a 6-speed manual convertible. It's a very early one. 1998 was the first year for these. We've got a nice biscuit leather interior as well. There's the 6-speed manual. It looks like okay. Apparently this had an engine rebuild costing £8,000, 5,000 miles ago at a Porsche specialist, and it's estimated at £9,500 to £11,000. So actually, at the moment, these are surprisingly affordable. The Porsche prices have dropped in the last couple of years. Yeah, again, I don't think it's particularly me, but you know, some of you will find that fascinating. Riley RME from 1954. This has you know, been pulled out of the barn. I think it's recently rediscovered. It does need some work. I mean, you can see just at the bottom there, for example, it does. Estimate on this is £3,000 to £4,000. It's a beautiful old car. Look at the sort of construction in here of the dash and everything. Riley just kept making these for years and years and years. I think the last one of these was the RMF was the last one of these. This is an E. Trafficators, of course. Big sort of traditional looking car at a time when a lot of other ones had the wings, you know, actually integrated into the front of the car. These still have a separate look about it, but presumably the traditional Riley customers quite liked that because they just kept making them right away through to 57 VRMs. Wonderful. So here we've got 72 Mini 1000. Now there are some bits on here that are period upgrades. You've got front brake discs on here. They originally would have been drums. I think the disc brakes only came into all Minis in 1984, so quite a long time after this one was made. Got the Astrali style steering wheel in here. The estimate on this car is only £5,000 to £7,000, which actually I think for a Mini that's good and solid like this one isn't that much money. It's very common, of course, on Minis to put some upgrades in them. There we go, didn't trap my hand in the door. Yeah, interior looks good. I have to ask Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel, who's a Mini expert, what he thinks about this one. But yeah, it's not the only Mini in the sale this month. We'll have a look at the other one shortly. As I always say to you, is not everything in the sale is actually here at the moment, and not everything in here is on sale, if that makes sense. So we're skipping to 121 because the previous 120 is not here. 69 MGC. Now this is one of the last of the MGCs. They only were made for 2 years. 67 to 69. Straight away you tell, looking at the front of it, that it is an MGC because of the bonnet bulge. The V8 didn't come in until I think 1973. So this is a bit earlier with the C-Series straight 6 engine. There we go. Interior looks good. Look at that grille at the bottom. Just in kind of, I think, 90s tape player in there. I've driven a couple of MGBs, and one of them was a massively modified 4.6 litre V8 one. They're actually quite nice to drive for such old cars. This one's estimated between 14,000 and 16,000. I think the nose weight of these is a bit different from the 1.8s, and I'm not sure the performance was actually that different from the standard MGB, so that was one of the reasons why they didn't make very many of them. The engine, very similar to the one used in the old Healy 3000. But yeah, it looks good. I like the colour of this. Is that a good price for one of these? Well, I suppose we'll have to find out when the auction happens on the 9th. Now this is something that I absolutely adore. This is 1995 MGR V8. They made these, I think, 92 to 95, although some were registered in 1996. This is a Japanese specification one, which, you know, presumably gets you a few more extras. One thing you don't get though is electric windows. I don't think any RV8 had electric windows. We do, however, have a beige leather interior with wood, which is very nice, although the wood's cracking a little bit. It's not perfect, but I love this colour. In fact, I love these cars in general. I'd always wanted to drive an RV8. I never quite managed it. It's got the 3.9 litre Rover V8 in it, which was also used in the current Range Rovers at the time. Estimate on this is £16,000 to £18,000. Lot number 123, a 2007 Lotus Elise R Tour Plus. We have seen this a few times before. Again, I don't know quite what it's still doing here. It's not really me, I wouldn't say. I've seen how difficult it is getting out of these cars. I wouldn't say no to having a go one day. It'd be fun. This one's estimated between £13,000 and £18,000. So similar estimate to the MGR V8. I mean, which would you prefer, one of these or the MGR V8? I think I know, viewers, but I will keep that to myself. Still got the good old Cavalier Mark III indicator wiper stalks in there, which is good. We like to see things like that. Again, typical sort of colour of the sort of mid 2000s, isn't it? Oh, viewers, we like to see this very much. Will it be a shame when this is sold, but hopefully it will at some point. 2003 Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, which is in the 007 specification. It's done less than 100,000 miles. The estimate to this time is £24,000 to £28,000. We've seen this a few times before, so we won't dwell on it too much, but we all just poke our heads inside because I like seeing the little plaque on the door sill, which says we're in 007 specification, just that thing down there. Right-hand handbrake. We've got the flappy paddle gearbox in here, much beloved to Jeremy Clarkson, of course, from the old days of Top Gear. Yeah. Die Another Day was not a good film, viewers. I don't rate it, but I do rate this car. I think it's fantastic. So here is another 996 Porsche 911. In this case, this is a Carrera 4. It's a facelifted one. Estimate on this is £10,500 to £11,500. So not too dissimilar for the convertible one. There we've got the front boot in there, or fruit, or frunk, or whatever you want to call it. I think I tried to get in there actually when we filmed one of these back in 2022. I didn't last very long. Have a look inside. Got the active spoiler on the back of there. Again, it's a 6-speed manual, not a Tiptronic, with a 4-wheel drive. It smells really nice in here actually. They are nice to drive. The only thing I would say about these cars is the ride's a little bit on the firm side, but then that's what you get for being a Porsche, I suppose. It's what Porsche owners like. That is fabulous for, you know, £10,500 to £11,500. Oh, viewers, this is tempting. 2001 Jaguar XK8 4 litre, apparently with a timing chain conversion. I'm more interested though with the fact that this is a dark green car with a beige leather interior. In fact, we'll inspect said beige leather interior now. Oh, viewers, look at that. Absolute dream. Look at all that wood. It's what we call the classic interior in these, with, you know, beige leather and wood. I had the privilege of driving one of these earlier this year. It was a 97 car. This, I think they've maybe got the year wrong because the plate dates from 2000. But that is really nice. I'm going to have to not put my hand in my pocket and bid for that, because I don't think my lady wife would be very amused if I came home with that. But there we go, just £2,000 to £3,000. Yes, another old friend here. This is Ford Falcon Sprint convertible from 1964. Again, I do hope, like the Standard and the Saab that are here, that this is the month that this car goes to its new home. Because it is just sad seeing this, you know, still here. Not particularly my sort of thing, viewers, but there's a big American car scene in this country, and I'm hoping that somebody from that scene will love that and either want to just use it as it is or restore it. Also, looking a bit sad in the corner here, is this 1994 Jaguar XJ12 Sport Automatic. The XJ40 version of the XJ12 is very rare, They only made them from 1993 to 1994. This is one of the last ones. And of course, it's dark green with a beige leather interior. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. Also on this one, we've got the cruise control, which is good. Estimate on it this time is about £6,500 to £8,500. Why don't we have a look at the engine if the bonnet's actually open? Which it is. There we go. Ooh, that is an intimidating sight. Look at that. The fuel consumption I gather on these is not particularly good, so maybe not for me, particularly when that XK8 is like half the money that this is. But anyway, it's very nice. I do like XJ40s very much, but I have a feeling that the six-cylinder one that I drove last year would probably be a more practical choice than this particular car. It's very nice though. Next we have a couple of Mercedes-Benzes. This 2003 SL500, £4,000 to £5,000. Can you believe that this car is sensible second-hand classics money? I can't really. The only thing is, Mercedes of this era do have a reputation for fantastically complex electronics, and if those go wrong, then you can be in a bit of trouble. The interior though looks immaculate. That looks just like new. Yeah, I don't know what would happen if you needed to service it and things like that. That might be interesting, but that's an awful lot of car for that sort of money, isn't it? So next, a 1995 Mercedes W124, or specifically S124 E200. This has only done 114,000 miles, and it is the base model from the time, unlike the one that I drove in September, which is at Eubanks auction. So that was the E280, which is a six-cylinder engine. This only has a four-cylinder engine, and it hasn't got a sort of beige leather interior or anything. It's just got a normal one. But this is actually in many ways in better condition than that car was. It's done lower mileage, bodywork's a bit better, the wings are good. Estimate is £2,500 to £3,500. Unfortunately, I think it's locked, which is a shame. You just sort of see through there what the interior is like. Typical Mercedes of the era, cloth seats and wheel trims and things like that. But it is rather nice. I love that colour. Something very, very unusual here. This is a 1978 Renault Estafette. Apparently it's been used as a catering van. The estimate on this is frankly astonishing, £2,000 to £4,000. Take a look inside. We don't actually need to open that door. We can just go in here. Yeah, all the catering stuff's in here. Left-hand drive. It's basically like an alternative to a Citroen H van, isn't it? I can't believe that even in '78 they were making stuff like this, because the Traffic, which came in later to replace this in 1980, looked nothing like this. It looked sort of 20 years newer. This looks like something from the sort of mid-60s. I can't say I know much about these. It's going to need a lot of work to sort of recommission it and things, but it's interesting anyway. I mean, if you have an artisan coffee business, or you make artisan pizza or something, that's probably a suitable thing for you. So we had a BMW 3 Series at the start, convertible, and here's another one. 1999 328 SE individual. Very, very late E36, this one. One of the last, in fact. I wouldn't say this is sort of beige leather, I'd say it's something else. I'm not quite sure. Maybe cream. But yeah, you can see it's got the latest steering wheel in it and things. Estimate on this is kind of similar actually to the later one over there. It's £3,500 to £4,500. The colour is very, very 90s, this sort of like purple colour. It's got the M3 style door mirrors as well. Interesting. And one of our oldest friends is here, this 79 Mini Clubman van, but it's got the front end of the standard minivans on it. Not quite sure again what it's actually doing here. When it was first for sale, which was a few months ago now, I did show this to Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel, and he said, yeah, it's quite common to put a standard mini front end on a Clubman. It's not unusual. Yeah, it looks like it's very solid and everything. I don't know what's happened to the market for minis. It's obviously not as kind of buoyant as it used to be, but that's the same with lots of other classics at the moment, isn't it? And another Mini, the third one in this sale. 1999 Mini Cooper Sport. This isn't in the best condition. You can see it does need some work. I mean, we can look straight away down here and you can see there's a bit of bubbling and things there. Interior looks quite good. It's one of the later interiors of these. Quite close to the end of production. Production finished in 2000. This is a 99. Again, it's very sort of 90s colour, this sort of purple, which I think looks quite good actually on this car. A 1985 Ford Granada Mark II 2.8 GL Estate. Yes, I will be speaking to Mr. Coleman, Rover mechanic, about this, who is an expert on Mark 1 and Mark II Granadas. He owns a very nice one. This is a GL rather than a gear, so it's unusual. Actually, most of these surviving are gears or gear X's. So a cloth interior in this. This car has a replacement engine in it, the good old Cologne V6. There we go. Still got electric windows and electric seats in this as well. Very luxurious, and sunroof. I don't know if it's got air conditioning in here or not, but yeah, very nice. I really like Mark II Ford Granadas there. I think one of the best cars Ford ever made. The estimate on this is not particularly high actually. It's £5,000 to £7,000. Is that a good deal? I don't know. Let the bidders do the talking when this goes up for auction. And with a bottom estimate in no budget reviews territory, here's this 87 Cavalier Mark II 1.8 Cabrio. I think the MOT's now expired on this, which is a bit of a shame. So we don't quite know what the underneath is like. I'm amazed really. I think a standard one of these would probably be worth less. I don't know. Again, I don't know what this is still doing here. Nobody seems to have bought it, despite it being in several videos. I do like Mark II Cavaliers a great deal. Only ever driven one once, and it was great actually. It was a 1.6 L automatic from 1983. That would probably be more fun with a manual gearbox and a 1.8 engine. But what's it still doing here? I don't know, viewers. Anyway, that's it for the November sale preview here at Barron's Classic Car Auctions. Please don't forget to subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel, sorry, like this and leave a comment below. And I suppose we shall see you again next month for some more incorrect information.